Are you wondering if you are a highly sensitive person? Every highly sensitive person is different, but anyway, there are traits that are common among them. So let's go to see which are 8 of the more common. Number 1 is overthinking. In fact, they have a deeper way to analyze what is happening around them, and so they receive much more information than a normal person, and therefore they need at the end a greater reflection about the things that are happening around. If this overthinking is not correctly guided, it might cause a block in the correct or healthy process of analysis of all these informations. In that case, the person might encounter difficulties in taking decisions, might eventually have sleeping problem, eating problem with self-confidence, and then eventually also find themselves in trouble or anyway in difficulties with their relationships at work, as in the personal life. Number 2 is the sensitivity of the 5 senses. Their senses are often stronger, and therefore they can perceive things that the no highly sensitive person can feel, hear, smell, and whatever. Not every highly sensitive person have all the 5 senses strong. Everyone is different. So sometimes there might be people that might have a really, really good hearing and good smell, but the rest is let's say normal, or in the average, I prefer. And then there might be others that instead have all the 5 senses really powerful. On the other side, the fact that those senses are so strong might bring to be overwhelmed from louder sounds, from flavor or smell that are too strong, and then from even the artificial lights. I have repeated already a few times that they receive quite a lot of information. The difference that there is between the highly sensitive person and the no highly sensitive person is which part of the brain they use to analyze what is happening around them. Therefore, the no highly sensitive person normally use the logic part of the brain, that is the left side of the brain, while instead the highly sensitive person use for the most the right side of the brain. Number 3 is feeling odd or anyway different. As they have this different way of processing information, already they are different in their way of thinking, and also the fact eventually of living in some kind of culture or growing up in an environment where maybe the most of the others are not sensitive might bring them to receive quite a lot of comments like, oh, you are too sensitive, or you are thinking too much, or how is possible you are thinking this. And so quite a lot of sentences that might fill them, or more than might fill them, might underline even more that actually there is a difference between them and the others. Number 4 is the deep emotions. So they get overwhelmed in front of a movie or for any kind of emotional situations. I repeat, every one of them is different. There are some of them that have really easy tears and some others less. But always due to everything they might feel, hear, and receive as information, there is this overwhelm also from an emotional point of view. So do you think you are a highly sensitive person, or do you think now that you know some highly sensitive person, or you know already that you are a highly sensitive person? Just share in the comment below. And if you know already that you are highly sensitive, how did you discover it, and when did you discover it? And instead you are still in doubt, I leave in the description below a link to an how-to test of Dr. Aron, and I translated also in French and in Italian, so you're going to find 3 links actually. So I hope it's going to help you. Number 5 is a strong sense of honesty, justice, and extremely high standards. A friend, a colleague, or an employee that is a highly sensitive person is a treasure, also because you can count on what is their sense of justice and their sense of honesty, but also the self-imposed high standard that they have. However, they demand the same to all the people around them. Therefore, when this need is not really encountered, then they really might live it as something really painful. They might lose self-esteem, and they might have a really deep disillusionment respect to the person that didn't meet this sense of justice, honesty, or the standard that in some way they have set up. Number 6, empathy. They can tune into the emotions of the people around them, even the strangers, and therefore they can feel what the other are feeling. This is great, but however, they have to learn to listen themselves and to make really the difference between what are their own emotions and what are the emotions where they tune in. So the emotions that are not their own emotions, because otherwise they might really have some huge confusion about how they feel. Number 7, the need for regular silence or sometime in solitude to recharge, especially after spending time in groups or with a difficult or a negative person. An highly sensitive person needs sometimes for clear up all the informations, the emotions, even the energies they might have collect, because all this stuff, it doesn't belong to them. So in some way we could say that they are like a computer who needs to clear up the cache information collect during the working time. So if you're a highly sensitive person and you need regularly to take this time for you, it's okay. And if you are instead friend of a highly sensitive person and you see that this person sometimes disappear, don't worry, it will come back. It just needs some time for himself or herself. Number 8, being available to help others, often forgetting themselves. So with this empathetic ability and with the emotional experience, the luggage of emotional experience that they have, they are naturally bring to help the people around them, in particular the people that they love. So they become really good listener. They can support from an emotional point of view and physical point of view. So they are so focused on not hurting and help and save that they might arrive to a point where they forget themselves. And so they might have difficulties to set limits, boundaries, and to feel what are their needs, to a point where they might no longer even know what they really want. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If yes, why not click the like button? And if you like to see more material of the channel, you can click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified of when there will be the next video.